Top tips for racing pigeons in winter, keeping champions strong. Winter presents unique challenges for racing pigeon fanciers, but with proper care and attention, this season becomes the foundation for championship performance. Successful winter management isn't just about survival. It's about maintaining fitness, building strength, and preparing your birds for the demanding racing season ahead. The cold months require a strategic approach to feeding, housing, and health maintenance that differs significantly from summer care. This comprehensive guide draws on decades of fancier experience and proven techniques to help you navigate winter successfully. Whether you're a seasoned champion or new to the sport, these essential tips will ensure your pigeons emerge from winter in peak condition, ready to compete at their highest level. Why winter care matters for racing pigeons. The metabolic challenge. When temperatures plunge below freezing, racing pigeons face a significant physiological challenge. Their metabolism can increase by up to 30% simply to maintain optimal body temperature. This dramatic rise in energy expenditure means every aspect of their care becomes critical. Pigeons are remarkably resilient birds, but winter's demands can quickly deplete their reserves if proper support isn't provided. The cost of neglect. Neglecting winter care carries serious consequences that extend far beyond the cold months. Weight loss, compromised immunity, and declining performance are just the beginning. Birds that struggle through winter often show poor form well into the racing season. Respiratory issues, parasite problems, and general weakness can persist for months, costing you valuable race results and potentially shortening your pigeons' competitive careers. The Lost Son revival story. One champion cock nicknamed the Lost Son seemed finished after a brutal January. Dull feathers, listless behavior, and poor training flights suggested his racing days were over. However, a complete overhaul of his winter feeding regime, incorporating enriched grains, extra fats, and targeted mineral supplements, transformed him completely. By spring, his plumage gleamed, his energy returned, and he went on to win the prestigious Barcelona race that season. This dramatic turnaround proved that proper winter care isn't just maintenance, it's the secret to unlocking championship potential. Selection and health. Cull to keep only the best. The performance principle. Top racing lofts consistently cull 50 to 66% of their young birds before winter sets in. This isn't cruelty, it's championship strategy. By removing underperformers, you concentrate resources and attention on birds with genuine potential. Who should go? Target chronically late arrivals, inconsistent performers, birds with persistent health issues, and those showing low vitality or poor recovery. Winter amplifies weaknesses, so birds that struggle in ideal conditions will only deteriorate further in harsh weather. The immunity advantage. Fewer birds mean reduced disease pressure, better air quality, and stronger overall immunity. A smaller, healthier team consistently outperforms a large, mediocre one. Quality always trumps quantity in championship racing. Remember, successful fanciers aren't those who keep the most pigeons, but those who keep the right pigeons. Winter isn't the time for sentimentality. Every bird in your loft should justify its place through proven performance or exceptional breeding value. The space, feed, and care you save by culling wisely gets redirected to your genuine champions, giving them every advantage when racing resumes. Remember, successful fanciers aren't those who keep the most pigeons, but those who keep the right pigeons. Feeding strategies. Twice a day is the winter winner. Morning feed strategy. Provide a light, easily digestible feed before training flights. Focus on barley, wheat, and smaller grains that give quick energy without weighing birds down. This meal prepares them for exercise whilst maintaining alertness. Evening meal formula. The evening meal is crucial for winter survival. Increase corn to 40 to 50% of the mix, add sunflower seeds, chopped peanuts, and oil-rich grains. This dense, calorie-rich feed provides the fuel pigeons need to stay warm through cold nights. Weather adjustments. On extremely cold days, increase evening portions by 10 to 15%. During milder spells, reduce quantities slightly to prevent excessive weight gain. Monitor body condition weekly and adjust accordingly. Why twice daily feeding works. Twice-daily feeding revolutionizes winter pigeon management by matching the bird's natural digestive rhythms and energy needs. Morning feeds prepare birds for training without overloading their system, whilst evening feeds provide the sustained energy required for overnight warmth generation. This approach prevents the feast or famine cycle of once-daily feeding, maintains more stable blood sugar levels, and keeps birds in better overall condition. Fanciers who adopt this method consistently report improved training performance, better feather quality, and stronger race results. Feeding mistakes to avoid. Overfeeding leading to obesity and sluggishness. Using the same mix morning and evening. Ignoring individual bird condition. Failing to adjust for weather changes. Providing insufficient fat content in cold snaps. Nutrition essentials: protein, fat, and minerals. Protein balance. Post-molt winter diets require 12 to 14% protein, enough to maintain muscle mass without forcing unnecessary molt cycles in cold weather. Use quality peas, beans, and venches in moderation. Excessive protein wastes energy and can trigger unwanted feather replacement in cold weather. Corn, the winter fuel. Corn is legitimately firewood for pigeons. Its high carbohydrate and oil content generates substantial body heat during digestion. In deep winter, corn should comprise 40 to 50% of the mix. Yellow corn provides more vitamin A than white varieties, supporting immunity alongside warmth. Essential fats. Wheat germ oil and cod liver oil are winter essentials. 1 teaspoon of wheat germ oil per kilogram of feed supplies vitamin E and healthy fats. Cod liver oil provides vitamins A and D, crucial when winter sunshine is limited. Alternate weekly for best results. Grit and minerals, daily requirements. Grit isn't optional, it's essential for proper digestion. Pigeons need it to grind feed in their gizzards. Provide mixed grit containing limestone, flint, and oyster shell. Mineral mixes should include calcium for bone health, magnesium for muscle function, and zinc for immunity. Winter's dry, cold air increases electrolyte needs significantly. A quality mineral supplement with trace elements supports everything from feather quality to disease resistance. Water supplementation. Cold air holds less moisture, meaning pigeons face hidden dehydration risks. Add electrolyte supplements to drinking water twice weekly. Vitamin supplements, particularly B-complex and vitamin C, support stress resistance during harsh weather. Apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon per liter, once weekly supports digestion and pH balance. Ensure water remains ice-free and change it twice daily to prevent contamination. Loft environment. Shelter without overheating. The natural hardiness principle. Healthy, properly acclimated pigeons naturally withstand impressive cold. Artificial heating often causes more problems than it solves by preventing proper acclimatization, creating condensation, and making birds vulnerable when they venture outside. Trust your pigeon's natural resilience. Wind and draft protection. Wind chill poses the greatest threat, not cold itself. Insulate walls with polystyrene sheets, install polycarbonate panels on windward sides, or use clear, heavy-duty plastic sheeting. Seal gaps around doors and windows, but never block ventilation completely. Nest box comfort. Line nest boxes with Reflectix, bubble wrap insulation with reflective coating, to radiate body heat back to roosting birds. Add pine needles or soft straw. They're warmer than traditional nest materials and smell pleasant. Ensure boxes stay dry. Moisture is far more dangerous than cold. Water management. Frozen water can be life-threatening. Use purpose-built water deicers or heated pet bowls, never improvised heating that risk fire. Position water containers away from perches to minimize contamination. Change water twice daily regardless of temperature. The ideal winter loft balances protection with proper ventilation. Stale, humid air causes respiratory disease faster than cold, dry air ever does. Your goal is a sheltered environment free from drafts and wind, but with sufficient air exchange to prevent ammonia buildup and condensation problems. Pigeons should feel comfortable enough to rest quietly, yet challenged enough to maintain their natural cold tolerance. Parasite and disease control in winter. Winter doesn't mean holiday for parasites. Whilst parasite activity slows in cold weather, it never stops completely. The warm microclimate inside your loft provides perfect conditions for coccidia, canker, and intestinal worms to persist year-round. Monthly health checks remain vitally important throughout winter. Inspect droppings regularly for color, consistency, and signs of parasites. Watch for lethargy, ruffled feathers, or reduced appetite, all warning signs requiring immediate attention. The rodent threat. Winter drives rats and mice into lofts seeking warmth, food, and shelter. These rodents aren't just nuisances, they're serious disease vectors, particularly for salmonella. Implement rigorous rodent control using secure bait stations positioned around, never inside, your loft. Seal all potential entry points, store feed in metal containers, and never leave spillage overnight. Elasticity. Consider adding electrolytes to water weekly during particularly cold spells to encourage drinking and replace minerals lost through increased metabolic demands. Prevention strategy. Use multiple water stations to ensure frozen or contaminated water at one location doesn't leave birds without access. Redundancy in water supply is cheap insurance against winter health problems. Temperature monitoring. Check water temperatures morning and evening. Water that's too cold discourages drinking almost as effectively as ice. Slightly warmed water, tepid, not hot, encourages consumption during cold snaps. Parasite control and vaccination during winter. A common misconception holds that parasites disappear during winter. Whilst cold weather slows parasite life cycles, it certainly doesn't eliminate them. In fact, the confined conditions of winter loft management can facilitate parasite transmission amongst birds. Maintaining vigilant parasite control throughout winter is essential for bird health and spring racing preparation. Strategic vaccination. Post-racing season, before breeding preparation begins, is the ideal time for essential vaccinations. Vaccinate all birds for paramyxovirus, PMV, as this devastating disease can destroy an entire loft's racing potential. Salmonella vaccination provides additional protection, particularly in areas where this disease is prevalent. Avoid unnecessary pox vaccination in mature birds unless you're in a high-risk area. Young birds benefit from pox vaccination, but repeated vaccination of older birds provides minimal additional benefit whilst causing stress and potential side effects. Deep clean the loft at the start of winter and maintain regular cleaning throughout. Remove accumulated droppings, disinfect perches and nest boxes, and ensure proper ventilation to reduce humidity that encourages parasite survival. This environmental management, combined with strategic medication, creates conditions where parasites struggle to establish whilst your birds thrive. Loft environment, shelter, temperature, and ventilation. Creating the optimal loft environment for winter represents a delicate balance between protection and ventilation, warmth and freshness, shelter and airflow. Pigeons are remarkably hardy birds, capable of tolerating significant cold provided they're protected from the elements that truly threaten their health: wind, dampness, and drafts. Understanding this distinction guides effective winter loft management. Draft protection. Insulate lofts against wind penetration using polycarbonate panels or heavy-duty mesh tarps on exposed walls. Block drafts at bird level whilst maintaining ventilation near the roof. Cold, still air is far less dangerous than cold, moving air that strips away the insulating layer around birds' bodies. Temperature management. Avoid supplemental heating except in extreme conditions. Artificial heat creates dependency, increases fire risks, and can cause burns if birds contact heating elements. Instead, gradually acclimate birds to dropping temperatures by ensuring stable overnight temperatures above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius, before winter's full arrival. Ventilation balance. Never seal the loft completely. Fresh air exchange remains essential even in winter. Install adjustable vents high in the loft to remove moisture-laden air whilst preventing drafts at bird level. Condensation on walls or windows indicates inadequate ventilation requiring immediate correction. Nest box preparation. Provide dry, cozy nest boxes even for non-breeding birds. Line boxes with straw or pine needles, which provide excellent insulation whilst remaining easy to replace. Some fanciers use reflective materials behind nest boxes to reduce heat loss through walls. Ensure boxes are raised off cold floors and positioned away from direct drafts. Rodent control. Winter drives rats and mice indoors, bringing serious salmonella risks. These pests contaminate feed, spread disease, and stress birds. Deploy bait stations safely positioned where pigeons cannot access them. Check and refresh bait regularly as rodent pressure increases throughout winter. Walk through your loft on cold, windy evenings. Feel for drafts at bird level, check for condensation indicating poor ventilation, and ensure all birds can access sheltered areas. The goal is creating a stable microclimate, cold enough that birds develop proper winter conditioning, but protected enough that they're not battling wind and dampness that exhaust energy reserves. This balanced environment allows birds to maintain condition efficiently, neither stressed by extreme cold nor softened by artificial heat. Minerals, supplements, and health monitoring. Winter's metabolic demands extend beyond basic nutrition to micronutrients often overlooked by fanciers. Increased energy production generates greater mineral and electrolyte losses through waste products and respiration. Simultaneously, reduced daylight hours affect vitamin D synthesis, whilst cold stress challenges immune function. Strategic supplementation addresses these heightened requirements, supporting overall health and maintaining competitive condition throughout winter. Daily mineral access. Provide grit and comprehensive mineral mixes ad libitum year-round, with particular emphasis during winter. These supply calcium for bone health and eggshell formation, phosphorus for energy metabolism, and trace minerals essential for immune function. Pickstone or mineral blocks offer sustained release of these critical nutrients. Vitamin supplementation. Add multivitamin and electrolyte supplements to drinking water weekly during winter. These compensate for reduced synthesis and increased metabolic losses. Focus on water-soluble B-complex vitamins, supporting energy metabolism, and vitamin C for immune enhancement during stress periods. Daily observation. Spend time observing birds each day. Watch for early warning signs: lethargy, pluffed feathers, reluctance to perch normally, dull eye appearance, or respiratory sounds. Early intervention prevents minor issues from becoming serious illness. Handle birds weekly to assess body condition and muscle tone. Immune support. Winter challenges immune systems. Supplement with probiotics to support digestive health and immune function. Garlic extract or cider vinegar in water 2 or 3 times weekly provides natural antimicrobial support. These gentle interventions maintain resistance without the stress of constant medication. Proactive health management. Maintain detailed health records throughout winter. Note any treatments administered, unusual symptoms observed, or environmental changes made. This documentation proves invaluable for identifying patterns and refining your management approach year after year. Watch droppings daily. They're the most accessible health indicator. Normal droppings should be firm with distinct white urite camps. Loose, discolored, or bloody droppings warrant immediate investigation and potential treatment. Similarly, monitor feed consumption. Sudden decreases often indicate health problems before other symptoms appear. The fancier who catches problems early, who notice subtle changes in behavior or appearance, consistently maintains healthier lofts and more competitive birds. Winter health monitoring isn't about paranoia, it's about attentiveness. Your birds cannot tell you when something is wrong, but they constantly communicate through behavior, appearance, and condition. Learning to read these signals transforms you into a true fancier. Conclusion. Winter care pays off in racing success. Excellence in pigeon racing isn't achieved solely during the racing season. Champions are forged in the quieter months through consistent, thoughtful management when temptation suggests relaxation. The comprehensive winter care strategies detailed in this guide, focused nutrition, vigilant health management, optimal environmental conditions, and strategic selection, build the foundation upon which racing success is constructed. Energy increase. Additional metabolic demands in winter cold. Recommended culling. Percentage of birds' top lofts remove before winter. Molt protein. Dietary protein percentage during autumn molt. The Lost Son. A champion pigeon from a renowned Belgian loft. Cull weak birds, support molt, adjust nutrition. Winter management. Monitor health, maintain environment, strategic feeding. Spring excellence. Strong, conditioned birds, ready to dominate races. Winter is not downtime, it's preparation time. The lofts that dominate prize lists understand this fundamental truth. They recognize that every season connects to the next, that shortcuts taken in winter manifest as disappointments in racing results. Conversely, the dedication invested during cold months pays dividends throughout the entire following year. Commit to these principles. Observe your birds daily with the eye of a true fancier. Adjust your management based on their condition and the weather's demands. Invest in quality nutrition, maintain immaculate health protocols, and create an environment where your birds don't merely survive winter, they thrive through it. The relationship between fancier and pigeon is one of mutual dependence and respect. Take exceptional care of your pigeons through winter's challenges, provide them everything they need to flourish, and they will reward your dedication with performances that make all the effort worthwhile. Remember the wisdom passed down through generations of successful fanciers. Take good care of your pigeons, and they will take good care of you. Winter care isn't just management, it's the foundation of racing greatness.
There are many reasons to buy my racing pigeon method. Here are some of the best reasons. You will get excellent results. It's a very simple system to use. It's affordable. I have had over 400 first prize winners. It's adaptable to any situation. You can use it with any racing method, natural, widowhood, young birds. It's a very effective method. There is no need to spend a lot of money on fancy pigeon products. It's a reliable system and it is foolproof to use. Professional athletes, race horses, take the same products. There is science behind this, not just hearsay. It is all to do with red blood cells and oxygen in the blood. Without that, a pigeon will not race well, or an athlete will not win a race. If he has low oxygen in his blood, the above is fact and is 100% science. There are a few things you can do to improve your chances of winning at racing pigeons. One of the most important things is to learn as much as you can about the sport. You'll need to know the different types of pigeons, how to train them, and how to race them. Another key factor is practice. You'll need to be able to fly your pigeons competently in order to win races. And, of course, you'll need to have the funds to invest in racing pigeons and other racing equipment.